thinking of moving to Anthem, Arizona, but before you do, you really want to know the pros and cons of what it's actually like living in Anthem to see if it's going to be the right fit for you. So that is exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. We're going to break down pros and cons. We're not sugarcoating it. We're not going to filter it. Like, you know when they do like, oh, like the cons and it's secretly a pro and they flip it around? No. Like, there's parts about living in Anthem that suck. We're going to talk about it as well as the good parts too, purely unfiltered, because I think you deserve to know what you're actually getting yourself into if you're thinking of moving somewhere, right? So we're going to break those down, pros and cons. We have a ton to cover, so let's do this. This is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Phoenix, Arizona and all the surrounding areas like Anthem, then go ahead and subscribe and click that bell for notifications so you can be the first one about what is happening in the market in Anthem and all around Phoenix and all the different suburbs. My name is Samantha, my team and I help people every single day just like you make their move to beautiful Phoenix and all the surrounding areas, and we absolutely love it. So if you are thinking of making a move, if you have questions, if you want to figure out if this is the right move for you, then go ahead and reach out, give us a call or shoot us a text, send us an email. You can hop on a Zoom call with us. All of that is linked in the description box below. We are here and happy to help and would love to answer your questions and help you make a smooth move to Phoenix. So like I said, today we are talking about Anthem, the pros and cons, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And going over all of that. I am staying in the shade because it's 115. The shade isn't helping, I'm still melting. So we're gonna go back to the office, talk about the pros and cons, really dig into it. If you actually wanna see Anthem, get a good feel for it, all the like neighborhoods, the different price points, really drive through, see shopping, dining, like feel like you're living in Anthem, then when you're done with this video, not before, watch this video, please. And then when you're done with this video, go ahead and check out the vlog tour that we did of Anthem, where we actually go through the neighborhoods, show you different homes, different price points, the shopping, the dining, the parks, like all the fun stuff there is to do at Anthem. So for now, let's head back to the office, get in some AC, and go over this list of pros and cons. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into this list of pros and cons for Anthem. Like I said in the intro, we're not going to sugarcoat it. I think if you're thinking of moving to an area or you want to know more about the area, you deserve to know all the actual really good and really bad things about that part of town, because you want to know if it's going to be a good fit for you. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and start checking out some of the pros pros of Anthem. Pro number one is that it is really peaceful and quiet. The homes are beautiful. It's a gorgeous part of town to live in. It's a ways outside of the main kind of Phoenix metro area, and so because of that, there's not a lot of traffic. It's a lot more laid back. You feel kind of like it's its own little kind of city tucked away in some of the mountains, and it's really beautiful. The homes are bigger, the yards are bigger, your money can go a lot farther here in Anthem. So that is a definite pro of living in this part of town. Another pro is that it's a very safe and family-friendly part of town. It has such a community feel. A lot of people know their neighbors, will say hi as they're out walking. There's a really low rate of crime, and so it is just very family-friendly and safe. And so it's a huge draw for families in the area as well. And our next pro kind of ties into that, is that there are incredible schools in the Anthem area. Regardless of what age group it is, the schools here are really, really incredible. That is something Anthem has really put a lot of time, effort, and money into, is creating these very highly rated schools and making sure that education was a priority for this city. So the schools here in Anthem are another incredible draw for families, and that's why a lot of people are looking to move to Anthem. If you are into lake living and lake life, this could be a huge pro, is that Anthem is close to Lake Pleasant. So if you enjoy being out on the lake with jet skis, boats, paddle boards, kayaks, I'm trying to think what else goes on the lake, all that kind of lake stuff, or if you just enjoy being by the lake, camping, walking around it, whatever, lake life is a huge plus of Anthem because you are close to that Lake Pleasant area. So about a 10 or 15 minute drive, you can be at Lake Pleasant and get to enjoy all that lake living. Another pro of Anthem is, since it is kind of outside the Phoenix metro area, you have all the amenities, all the shopping, dining, and everything of a big city, but you don't have to deal with all the kind of traffic and busyness that you'll have to deal with like you would in the Phoenix metro area. It is a ways outside of Phoenix, it is north of Phoenix, and so there's not a ton of traffic to deal with, but you do still have all the shopping, dining, gas, grocery stores, coffee, parks, all of that, all the fun amenities and everything that you need, including golfing. If you are a golfer, that's a huge perk for Anthem. So you have all of that without all of the traffic when you get closer to the kind of downtown Phoenix areas. Another huge perk of living in Anthem is all the outdoor activities. You have a lot of hiking and biking trails, some beautiful giant parks, lots of mountains, so additional hiking. There's dog parks. There's parks for humans, everything you could want. All this outdoor living is a huge plus. A lot of the restaurants have patios there just to enjoy the incredible weather and everything. Even that big, there's a big mall in the Anthem area. It's outlets at Anthem. It's a big open air mall. So just kind of all the outdoor living, you're close to the mountains, close to nature. And so Anthem really takes advantage of that by providing a lot of different outdoor activities, which is really fun. There's a huge Anthem community park, and it's 64 acres of everything you could possibly want in a park. There's a water park, there's playgrounds, there's fishing ponds, there's an actual railroad you can ride, there's skate parks, there's volleyball courts, basketball courts, soccer fields, what is it called? Squash courts? I think that's what, pickleball courts? Wait, it's pickleball courts, not squash. I think squash is inside. Pickleball courts. Any other kind of outdoor sport court you could think of, it's there. Obviously, I'm not a sports person. They even have an incredible Veterans Memorial. They have some different pergolas, spaces that you can use for parties and stuff. So really, there's a ton that you can do with the outdoor living here in the Anthem area. And so kind of tying into that, our next pro is the weather. There is a caveat with this. The weather in the late fall, winter, and early spring. The rest of the year, we're gonna get to that later in the pros, it's kind of sucky. But during the late fall, winter, and early spring, the weather here is gorgeous. It is sunny. It's in like the 60s and 70s. 60s for us is cold. That's when we break out all like our jackets and sweaters and we're like, oh, it's Christmas time, because it gets like in the 60s, which is cold for us. Now at nighttime and evening, it's gonna get a little bit colder, but during the day, 60s and 70s, sunny. You can go outside any day of the week during that late fall, winter, and springtime. And we really take full advantage of that. So that's why you're gonna see a lot of people out on the patios, out enjoying the different parks and stuff like that, the open air malls. So as soon as the weather gets good, we are outside all the time, getting all that vitamin D, enjoying the sunshine and everything that this incredible weather has to offer here. And of course, Anthem has all the fun amenities you can want, all the shopping, dining, the big outlets at Anthem Mall. If you actually want to see the mall, see all the different shops, get a good feel for it, like I said, go check out the Anthem vlog tour. That's one of the places that we check out during that tour. But all the shopping you could possibly want, tons of dining and everything all right there. So you really don't need to go into town unless you want to. If you want to do some additional, shopping at Scottsdale Fashion Square, if you want to do some fun nightlife over in Old Town Scottsdale or downtown Phoenix, you absolutely can. But there's really no need to leave Anthem. That has all the amenities and kind of mostly everything that you could want and need all right there in the city. And last but not least, the last pro for Anthem is just the quality of life. If you've seen any of our other pro and con videos that we do about different parts of Phoenix and all the different surrounding areas, quality of life is just kind of a continuous theme in all these different areas. This is something that the Phoenix metro area, we like our quality of life. It's a little more slower paced, laid back, especially in Anthem. You're not dealing with all the traffic and the busyness of the downtown areas. There's a huge not stress, what am I trying to think? A huge emphasis, that's the word, a huge emphasis on wellness and self-care. There are gyms on every corner. There is golfing. There's a lot of, like I said, wellness spas, wellness community centers, as well as really incredible healthcare systems and medical centers all throughout this area, and Anthem is no exception. So just kind of that idea of enjoying life, taking it a little bit slower, and taking care of your health is a huge theme throughout this area. All right, now for the good stuff, the cons, the stuff people really want to know, and there's definitely some drawbacks to living in Anthem. Con number one, you live kind of far away from the rest of the city. Since it is north of Phoenix, you're outside the city, it is far from the shopping, dining, and nightlife of the downtown area. If you want to go to downtown Scottsdale, downtown Phoenix, or even if you want to head over to the East Valley, Gilbert, Chandler, or even if you have to get to the airport, it's at least a 45-minute to an hour drive to get to these different parts of town from Anthem, just because you are so far north and because you have to take one of the highways that traffic is usually pretty heavy on during rush hour. So if you are thinking that you're going to want to be in different parts of town a lot, or even if you're working in a different area than Anthem, be ready for a lot of driving. And if you don't like longer commutes or longer driving, Anthem might not be the right spot for you. So kind of bonus con that goes along with this is if you live in Anthem, but you work in a different part of the city, if you work anywhere close to downtown Phoenix, if you work in Scottsdale, if you work in Gilbert, Tempe, Chandler, or any of these cities that are a little bit farther away from Anthem, your commute is going to be pretty rough. There's one main highway in and out of the Anthem area, and during rush hour, especially morning and evenings when people are going to and coming home from work, the traffic can be pretty brutal on this highway. So if you are not a fan of having a really long commute, and if you're planning on working somewhere pretty far outside of Anthem, that might not be the best spot for you. You might want to live a little bit closer to work so you're not going to have to deal with that brutal commute every single day. Another con, this is a con for some people, but desert landscaping. A lot of the homes are kind of like cookie cutter in Anthem. A lot of them look the same. It's a lot of stucco homes with tile roofs, and most of the yards are desert landscaping, both the front and backyards. A lot of rocks, a lot of cactus, desert plants. So while some people like that, a lot of people don't, and that is what the majority of homes look like in Anthem. So if you are not into the desert landscaping, if you're not into kind of cookie cutter homes that all look pretty similar, Anthem is probably not the spot for you. Me personally, I'm into desert landscaping because it keeps my water bill way lower. But if you are wanting something with a lot more green, if you want grass, trees, bushes, lots of plants in your yard, and if you're looking for really kind of cool, unique homes, don't go to Anthem. Look outside of Anthem. That's not the spot for you. And of course, we can't have a cons list anywhere in Arizona without mentioning the weather. Summer sucks here. It's so brutal. June through September is just, it's 115 degrees. There's heat advisories and heat warnings every single day. You can't really go outside for the majority of the summer unless, like, if you're gonna be in your car, fine, or if you're like in a pool, fine, but you don't go walking outside in the summer. If you wanna do hiking or take your dog out or go for a run, do it early in the morning. Do not be outside like after 10 o'clock. From 10 to 4, 10 to 5 is when it's most brutal. Try to stay indoors. The summer is no joke here. Like, you'll hear people, you know, joking about like cooking an egg on the sidewalk or putting like cookie dough on a sheet on your car. It's not a joke. I did that as a kid. It's very real. Summer is brutal. It's not humid, which is like the one saving grace. It's a dry heat, which people say, but it's still 115 degrees. So even if it's a dry heat, it's still pretty brutal and it's not a whole lot of fun. So if you can make it through the summers, great. I've lived here my whole life. I still think the summers are pretty brutal. I just kind of stay inside of the AC whenever it is summertime, but the rest of the year makes up for it. Another con of Anthem is it is not walkable. First of all, it's really far outside of town. So if you ever want to go anywhere else besides Anthem, you're gonna need a car, but Anthem itself is pretty spread out as well. And the public transportation system sucks. It's a bus system that's not super efficient. So if you are planning on living in Anthem, you are gonna need a car. It is not walkable, just as a heads up, especially in summer when it's so brutal and you really can't be outside during the majority of the day. So if you are looking for somewhere walkable, Anthem is not the place for you. Another con, since we are in the desert, is kind of the critters that come with it. Especially in Anthem, you're a little bit farther outside of town. You're close to all the mountains and all the desert landscaping and everything like that. And so because of that, when you are closer to the mountains, there are sometimes some extra critters that come with it. So different critters that are going to be pretty common are things like grasshoppers, scorpions, occasionally snakes. Usually you're not going to see snakes in your house or your yard, but if you're going hiking on the different trails, you may see them as kind of out there on the trail. So don't try to be their friends, just leave them alone, give them their space. If you are not a fan of critters, there are tons of pest control companies here that handle it. So if you want to get your home sealed for scorpions, if you don't want to see them, there are pest control companies that can absolutely take care of it for you. My neighbors, I live in North Phoenix, my neighbors have scorpions. I did not want them, and so our pest control company sealed our house. I haven't seen any at all, which is great. So there are companies that can take care of it for you, but if the critters make you nervous, that's just something that you should know about. And last but not least, the last con for Anthem is that it is really growing and the affordability is starting to go away. With a lot of the different cities all throughout Arizona, so many people are moving here. About 300 people are moving to the Phoenix metro area every single day. And so there's just not enough homes to go around in most areas, and Anthem is no exception. So there is still a lot of land that's being developed. There's a lot of new homes, new builds, different communities, both for homes to buy and homes to rent, are being built all over Anthem, but there's just not enough homes to go around, and the demand is higher than the supply right now. So with that, home prices are continuing to increase, the availability is a little limited, and the affordability is slowly but surely kind of starting to creep away a little bit. So just kind of keep that in mind. Anthem is not as affordable as it was 10 years ago, and it will probably continue to look that way as things go into the future. So there you go. There's kind of a quick pros and cons list of what is like living in Anthem. Like I said, if you actually want to get a really good feel of what it looks, feels like, and kind of really understand what Anthem is, go ahead and check out the vlog tour. Hopefully this answered some of your questions. If you have any additional questions about Anthem that we didn't answer, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Just comment your questions or reach out to us. You can give us a call, shoot us a text, reach out to us on Instagram, hop on a Zoom call with us. We'd love to hear from you and answer any additional questions you have about Anthem or any other areas around the Phoenix metro area. I feel like I said area a lot in that sentence. Anyways, love to hear from you guys. Hope this answered some of your questions, and until next time, we'll see you soon.